Welcome to Gambina's World of Boxing, where we empower the youth to defend themselves and build confidence without causing harm.
My grandparents, my dad's parents came over, gave up their properties in Italy to come to America and make a life, become an American citizen. Yeah. And my grandfather was a barber and he owned a pool room. He owned bars. I used to live out in San Bernardino and Chino area years ago when my dad was young. And my grandfather used to make his own wine, and my dad used to sell the wine to get extra money. And my dad used to get in a lot of fights because my dad wanted to be a fighter. And my dad realized it took a lot of work to become a fighter. And my dad was into Doolittle, Seymour. He liked Doolittle and Seymour, Seymour. Yeah, that's a good line, I like it. Yeah, he didn't really care for working that hard and things. So then he became a trainer, and then he started developing fighters. And he was with the partners with Harry James and Betty Grable. So funny with the guy named Jimmy McDaniels, who I was named after. Yeah, exactly, and who you've got the picture of in your office. Yeah, the picture that you've got from my office. And I was named, what a great guy. He's the only fighter that I know that got out of boxing at the right time and had 2 appliance stores in Tujunga. He owned 2 appliance stores that he owned and he ran. And he loved people, so he loved doing that business. That's a good person to be named after. And he was just a great guy, just a great guy. And him and his wife, like my second father.
We specialize in techniques that enhance natural ability, from stretching to shadow boxing.
Yeah, I wasn't very close to my godfather. My family, I don't know, they were afraid of my father to the degree that they didn't want to get too close to the family, because we had a lot of fighters over our house. And at that time, in Southgate, blacks weren't allowed in the city in Southgate. Yeah, in Southgate, California. Right? Yeah, they were just kids. And I looked up to them cause I was a little kid. Like 4, right? No, that was when I was older. That was when I was more like 7 and 8, when I moved to Southgate, because I was first born in LA on San Pedro Street. What year was that? Oh, geez. Well, let me put it to you this way.
Hear from our students
I was born in 43 and I had to be cared for the first 2 or 3 years because I was a 6-month premature baby. And so my mother had to take care of me because my lungs hadn't been loved. So I always remember sheets over me and the steam like a eucalyptus to get your breathing. And I remember that distinctly as a small kid. And what happened to me was my neighbor, a kid named Jimmy Gambina. He was my age and he took my bike from me. And my dad says, "Where's your bike?" I said, "Jimmy DiMaggio took it from me." He says, "Go get it." I said, "No, he'll beat me up." He said, "Either you go get it or I'm gonna beat you up."
I did several
Join us at Gambina's World of Boxing and become part of a community that stands strong against bullying.
Oh yeah, I did this one stunt. I did a few. I did some stunts that I got hurt real bad. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to let them know. Cause what happened, the reason I started doing stunts is a stunt man comes to work every day and they say today could be the day. And I went, man, if I had to do a job, that today could be the day I'd get another job. So they say, well, you think you can do it? Piece of cake. So they set me up with some real jewels. And this is when I started choreographing in my mind, because I choreographed my first fight on a wall on a picture called